Let me tell you something, right? You don't always got to struggle. Oh, yes, that's true. You don't always have to struggle. But sometimes struggle is more of a matter of how you take it rather than what you have going on. Okay? The Bible say that God will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on him. He also say to seek first the kingdom and all these things will be added on to you. But sometimes the only thing we seek is a way out of our problems. And that's not how God wants us to focus. He wants our focus on being solution based, and he also wants our focus to be on surrender. You know, that's the good thing about being a child of God, is that all the answers is right there in the word. And if you can't find them in the word, you can find them in prayer. That's an unfair advantage we have here in this world that we don't use enough. Why don't we use it enough? Because we get too used to wanting to be in control. And then when we come to Christ, it's like, now how in the world am I supposed to give that up? Just give it up. Give up always wanting to know all the details. Give up always wanting to be the one on top of every possible outcome. And just trust that God is going to lead you the right direction. If you don't trust that God is going to order your steps, then how do you even know you a believer? How do you know that? You have to trust that he going to order your steps. You got to trust that he going to deliver you. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, and the Lord delivers them from them all. You got to believe that stuff. If you don't believe the Bible, how you believe in God? Right? You always need to understand that. But let's get back to the point here. You don't always got to struggle. A lot of times what you really need to do is change. See, most people might say things like, every problem you have in life is something you cause. Don't work that way in a life of a believer. The vast majority of the problems we have are not things we cause. A lot of them can be caused by God. Even the bad stuff. Believe it or not. Yes. See, most people think that whatever go on in their life that they don't like is of the devil. And whatever go on in their life that they do like is of God. Don't you know that that's not always true? Like, just really sit back and think about it. Joseph being sold into slavery by his own brothers. Yeah, I mean, his brothers weren't doing a godly thing, but that was designed by God to put Joseph in a position where he became second in command of Egypt. Oh, he was also put in prison, falsely accused. Like, don't you know that that's circumstance? Those people operating the way they did were not doing godly things, but that whole situation in his life was ordered by God to work out that way. And every day Joseph spent in prison, God was testing him, shaping his character, so that way he could be a better steward over when he becomes second in command of one of the most powerful nations. And most of the time, it's God who's moving the goalpost in your life, that's allowing some of the problems to happen in your life, because he's just waiting on you to grow the right character. He's waiting on you to be the right person. I mean, you already are the right person. But it's something about surrendering control that allow you to see options and places you were not looking, because you just had a one-track mind. I just need a way out of these problems. I don't care what it is. I just need a way out. You do need to care what it is, because sometimes we find quick ways out of immediate problems that then cause even bigger problems down the line, just for God to put us right back in the same spot we was in. But not only that, we got all that time wasted that didn't really amount to any long-term solutions. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know that. I dare you. Yeah, I must have done it wrong before, right? Look, all I'm saying is this. If you are a child of God, you do not have to live this poor, downtrodden life your whole life. No, I'm not saying that you're going to be rich. No, I'm not saying that you're going to be famous and popular. You're going to have everything you ever wanted. All I'm saying is that what you see as problems do not have to always be seen as problems. Because the Bible tells us to think it not strange when we go through these fiery trials, because they're meant to build our faith. It's meant to purify us. Take that stuff with joy. Why take it with joy? Because you know that God is building you through that. And all you got to do is think about all the things he told you that he wanted you to do, all the things he called you to do. And then you start having these problems in your life and you're like, maybe this is the way he's going to let it happen. Oh, great. It's like, now who can say that going through hell? Great. And actually mean it. You want to know who can say that? Somebody who believes that his God is bigger than what he's going through. That's the person who can go through the worst possible situation and don't even got the guts to be upset about it. And in fact, they think it's funny. Yeah. Funny. Look, let me tell you something about what happened to me. Okay, y'all ready for this? So, I was in the middle of getting ready to start something else in my life. I was leaving one season of my life and entering into another one. And it was so hard for me to enter the last season because every time I turn around, I have financial hardships that involve my kids. And the last season in my life paid me money, but the next season of my life, it didn't, it wasn't paying for anything, And I would always find myself locked into the season that was supposed to end, all over a little money I need today, to a point to where it was hard for me to keep up with doing the work that was going to help me out in my next season. And so some lady drove drunk down the wrong side of the street one day and totaled my car. Totaled it. I was 3 days away from getting car insurance. She put me out of work completely. And you want to know what I said when I went outside and seen it? I said, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Not only that, that car was costing me so much money. And I ain't want to just have it took like repoed either. I'm like, man, I wish I would have never got this thing. Dang on thing, man. Wish I would have never got it. And because the car was costing so much is why I was always too busy trying to use it to pay for itself and to pay for other things, because I didn't want to wake up one day and it just got took, and yet I still owed him all this money. That lady drove drunk down the wrong side of the street. Yeah, she got me out of that mess in a heartbeat. I said, oh, thank God that I ain't had to be the one to just destroy the thing, dang old thing. But you want to know something, though? That also made me unable to go back to that last assignment that I had in my life. That also put me in a situation to where my entire life was rearranged in a way to where I had nothing else I could do but to just walk into my new season. All through that, I said, thank God that this lady just ruined my car. Now, you want to know something? God is going to bless me through this. Oh yes, God is going to give me the grace, the strength to overcome all the trials that I might have, all the financial hardships that I might have through all of this, all of that other stuff. And we getting ready to enter the next season of our lives. But sometimes we just don't know how to do it. It's not that we don't got the faith that God is going to do it. We just don't know the first move to make. And truth be told, you might have to wait on God to make the first move. Most people that started their ministries in the Bible, God pushed them into that. And a lot of times you got to wait on God to push you into that, right? You got to wait on him to close doors and open new ones. Because if you try to do it yourself, you're going to do it in a way to where you still find a sense of comfort. And you don't even really see that sense of comfort you holding on to is actually slowing you down and making all the progress you think you're making not really add up to much. And you got too many days going by. Don't waste days, right? Like I'd rather you work hard and smart all day than the slow roll every day. Because you don't got that many days. Like you got hours in the day you can use, but you don't got too many days to depend on. And so if you try and make the first move yourself all the time, a lot of time you won't make the right move. You got to wait on God to push that button, because he gonna push the right button and he gonna rearrange your whole life. But you got to have a relationship with him in prayer. Tell God what you need. I told God, I said, look, Lord, I want a way out of the mess that I'm in. I really want to just walk in my calling, walk in my purpose. You know, I do know that you got things that you called me to, but it's almost seeming like them doors ain't opening like they should. What do I need to do? Oh, the very next day, all of that happened. He was like, yeah, I'll show you what to do. There's an accident outside. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I guess I'm going to be leaving my business. And I'm going to go work somewhere else. And in the meantime, I'm going to work on my dreams, so I ain't going to be tied up all day long doing stuff that's just taking more time than what it should. Like, you know, man, you know, all these personal stories I be having sometime, man, they useful for somebody. You know, like what look like bad news to you is oftentimes good news to God. Comfort is the enemy of calling. Remember that.